And mate, how are you? Are you good?
I'm all good. How are you, my little man? You all good?
Yeah, well, I'm good, mate. I'm good.
Good.
I've just seen your fight cards that I sent you, which is a good card. Of course, Casey Kadimi returning. Had two fights last year. The Ijaz Ahmad for his titles. First one he lost. I didn't believe that he did enough to win it. Did you think that he did enough to win the first fight?
I think he done enough to win both the fights, to be honest with you. They were close fights. He shouldn't have let them be as close as what they was. You know, Casey's a great boxer, and he proved that with the fight before that when he captured the title against Pedro Matos. So he's got to right those wrongs, not taking nothing away from his jazz. But he's got to go in there and right the wrongs, and he's going to do that now. But he's come back from a bad knee injury. He was supposed to be fighting on the December the 4th card at the Anthony Yard and Arthur show, and he got a bad injury in training, and he's had to go through surgery and what have you. And we want to take it slowly. I'm not rushing him back in, but it's a fight that it's the rubber match that everybody wants to see. I know that the broadcasters want to broadcast it. Frank and Queensbury all eager to get that fight back on. The two great fights. So what we got to do now is take it slow with Casey. We'll give him a warm-up fight in April on our York Call show, and then we'll go straight into the British title fight with Ahmed. And he's set up with a new trainer now, Richard Sawyer. And everyone knows, what Richard done with Archie Sharp all through his career, got him to the number one spot with the WBO, was in his corner all those fights. And, I've got the utmost faith in Richard that he's going to deliver again for Casey.
Yeah, I was at the second fight, Casey v. Ijaz.
Yeah, the Bun and Birmingham.
Yeah, because Casey gave me tickets. Because I've interviewed him. I've interviewed him.
Oh, fantastic. Good. It was a good night. Shame it wasn't on the telly, but the atmosphere there was electric, wasn't it, for it at the end? It was a thrilling fight. Brilliant fight. It was
good. I had Casey up by one round.
I had him quite comfortable. Fight. I had him by about, I said in the interview after, I had him up by about 3 rounds. Looking at it, I just think the early rounds won it for him, really. And in the first fight, I thought the early rounds lost it for him. I think he didn't do enough in the early rounds. I think he done more in the early rounds this time that I think that he could have done. But then he pressed on, and I think he finished better. But he don't need to be getting dragged into. The thing about Casey is I don't want him getting dragged into, the other guy's fight. That's his Chad's fight. Having a tear up and what have you. Casey can do it. But if he does do things like that, it's going to favour the other guy. So he's got to get back to what he does well, and he's got to get back to his boxing because he's a fabulous boxer.
Yeah. Do you think that third fight's going to happen this year?
It will happen this year, 100%. It'll happen by the summer.
Nice. Of course, you've also got bright talent, Masood Abdullah, who's 3-0 currently in the professional rankings. When's his next fight? Of course, he got 3 stoppage wins in last year. A few fights he's cancelled as well. But the one against Paul Holt was impressive, that one.
Yeah, absolutely. We chose him to make a statement, Paul Holt, and I knew it would do, and he should have made everybody pay attention. He's had so much bad luck, Masood. Not through, injuries or anything like that. He's had 2 fights that were cancelled due to opponents not willing to fight him, and he's that's the on God's honest truth. And the money they was asking to fight Masood in a 4-rounder, it was like English title money and like fucking borderline British title money sometimes that they was asking for, and it was just absolutely ridiculous. But we got him up and running now, and he's going down to featherweight. So he wants to actually try and get down to super bantamweight. So he walks around at featherweight, but we had a good opportunity with Paul Holt, and that was just impressive because, you know, he's so tough, Paul, and I don't think anyone's ever done that to him before, really. And it's a bit of a measuring stick when you look at the other guys Paul's fought, and you know, he's gonna be out in March, April time, and we're just waiting for the date to be announced and all that. And he's going to be on a good show. He's going to be on a good show and be showcased to BT Sport. And yeah, we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, I mean, I spoke to Paul, his opponent. I've interviewed him, saying that he says that he's going to be a future world champion.
100%. 100%. There's a reason. We've got. I don't know what we're going to do with Masood because, you know, usually, you know, in this situation where it's 3-4 fights, you know, we can progress them. But you know, after his debut, he fought a journeyman who don't get stopped, and he absolutely demolished him. And I don't know whether all the agents and everyone and all the journeyman managers around the country have just spoke his name, but it's been impossible. It's been absolutely impossible. Masood Abdul, you asked Steve Queensby's matchmaker. You know, our guys have been trying to match him up on our shows. You mentioned his name to them. No, not even a no. Some of them don't even want an offer. They don't want to listen to an offer. Just go no, flat out no, and all that because we just know how much of a wrecking machine this guy is. You know, if he stops them, man, they're not going to be boxing for a while. So it's, I don't blame them, but it's just a bit of a pain in the ass for us as, you know, managers and promoters just to get him out there. But, you know, I would actually put him into a title fight. His next 2 fights, I'm that confident of his ability. You know, I know what he does to world champions in the gym. You know, I actually do know it. And the thing, I know why he's going to go far because unlike some talent, you know, this guy lives in the gym and he's dedicated to his craft and he's going to go far. And I think he'll go far fast. I really, really do. Yeah. And he's just got to keep grounded. He's got a great trainer. He's got a great training team, you know, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm so excited about this young man's future and I just can't wait for the first quarter of the year when everyone gets to finally see him live on telly.
Yeah, I mean, he stopped Paul quicker than a few of lots of people. No one's ever done that to Paul Holt.
No, not even stopped him. Like the way he just demolished him. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like it was, you know, we had the likes of Leon Woodstock, Louis Lynn. Yeah. You know, they've had great fights with them, but it was just a demolition job. An absolute demolition job. And, you know, Paul Holt is, you know, way past journeyman level. And that was a competitive fight. Paul Holt come to win, but just couldn't.
Yeah. Paul Holt's not a bad fighter.
Great fighter. Good man as well. Good man. I like Paul. Got a lot of time for him.
He's a good fighter. But Masood's just above his level.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I just can't wait to see him progress on, you know, and all the boys on the stable. It's just very, very, very exciting times for WBM at the moment. You know, we've had a lot of ups and downs last year in regards to shows being cancelled, you know, some being cancelled that, you know, should never have been for, you know, reasons outside of the ring that we're not happy about.
I was meant to go to the July one, July 31st.
And it was fantastic. That bill was fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, and it should have went ahead. We still, I mean, for you know, reasons not reasons beyond our control, a couple of fights got called off, and it was. But we still had a good card, and you know, Ashley Sexton caught COVID for that fight, and we was down to like 3 or 4 fights, and it was just, you know, it was such a pain in the arse, especially for, you know, for us, for Mo who promoted the show. It was such a kick in the guts because it was such a good way to bring the crowds back, and we wasn't had a chance. But you know, we made up for it. We made up for it the week after with Lewis Isaacs and Dan Morley.
So that was a great fight.
Really, really good fight. Lewis is back out in April as well, so we can't wait to see
Yeah,
him.
he's got a hard opponent as well.
Well, the thing is, that's what I said to Lewis. I said to him, you know, even though you lost that fight, and you know, I come from the same area as Lewis, from Islington. I know, you know, the people around the area. You know, so say he'll sell over 100 tickets. I guarantee you, the next fight he's going to do double that around here, because you know, people watch the fight online. You know, he's an exciting fighter. And I just said to him, look, after that, I said, you was in a fight of the year candidate, you know, and it takes two people to make a fight of the year candidate. And, you know, he contributed to it. And for for a small hall fight, an 8-rounder, to be on the top 10 of the Boxing News' you know, fights of the year, that's just incredible. It was incredible. And it just goes to show you how good it was. And it was.
Do you think they'll both push on for titles?
I'd like to do the rematch at the end of the year, and they should both push on. I think, you know, Dan's probably obviously where he's winning. I hope he gets out soon. I think Dan's probably in a better position than Lewis to get a title shot first. But you know, we're going to push Lewis to the hilt now. There's a lot of interest in Lewis as well. You know, he's got a fan-friendly style, and you know what? Listen, if that fight would have been 10 rounds, who knows what would have happened? You know, because he looked like he was getting him out of there in the last round. So, you know, let's hopefully do it for a title next time. Anyway, but it's a fabulous fight, and I think the rematch has to happen.
Yeah. What were you scoring the fight when it ended?
Oh, Morley. I said I'd Morley up by about 2-3 rounds. Well, I say about 2 rounds. I'd say I had Morley up. He was a clear winner. You know, Lewis pushed him, but I don't think he pushed him enough, especially in the middle rounds. And it got towards the end, and Lewis did push a bit, but I think it was a bit too late. You know, I think he left it too late to push on. Anyway, but you know, saying that, that's credit to Morley why he didn't allow Lewis to push on. So credit to both of them and all that. And I think you got two guys there, you know, who are going to push on, and they will be champions.
Yeah, and then you had Conor Martinson, the Boy Jones Jr. That was a good fight as well. Obviously,
Fantastic fight.
Conor came out on top. Let's just say I wasn't expecting that.
No,
yeah.
No, definitely not. Caught me by surprise. I mean, Conor, like a bit of a freak at the weight as well. I used to think that Boy Jones Jr. was a freak at the weight, but he's even more. Do you know what I mean? Like the tallness and all that. And it was fantastic, but you could just see, I think, the round before he stopped him, you could just see, I think he was just getting to him, and the size difference. And, you know, credit to both of them. You know, Boy Jones has been out the ring a long, long time, and he deserves credit for that. And I think, you know, a lot of people were saying, oh, we might pack it in after this and what have you. But no, I think it's made Boy Jones more hungrier. And he's out in February. And
I think he's against Jamie Quinn, so it should be good to get him back on winning ways.
Yeah, without that, he deserves it. He's a very, very lovely man. Lovely, lovely, lovely man.
What's next for Conor?
Sorry, say that again, Sam?
What's next for Conor?
I've not got a clue. I don't represent Conor. Adam Martin and all those guys do that, so I've not got a clue what they've got planned for him. But I do wish him the best.
Oh, okay. Ashley Sexton as well was meant to fight last year. It was a bit of a frustrating year for him as well, but he's out in Feb, isn't he?
He's out in February, and then he'll be on our April show at the back end of April in Good Fight, which we're just tying up at the moment. And he'll be fighting for a title in that fight. And we're just waiting just for confirmation from different places, so we could just we'd be in a position to announce that hopefully next week. But Ashley, it's good to see Ashley back. You know, Ashley was a fantastic fighter back in the day, and he still is. He's still got it, and I'm looking forward to him getting back into that mix.
Yeah. So, if he wins, does he fight the winner of Casey v. Ijaz?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to make that fight. I mean, there's so many fighters out there. Great fights for Casey if he was to win that. I'd like the Marcel Braithwaite fight. I think it's a fantastic fight for Casey.
Yeah,
I spoke to his team about that. They're more than up for that. But Casey's going to have all on-comers. Once you're the British champion, that's the target on your back. So, but Ashley and Casey would be a good fight. That'd be a fun fight to make, and that's 100% something that we would definitely look at, and very easy to make.
yeah. What happened with
Sorry.
what happened with Billy Underwood? Because his fights have been cancelled and stuff, and I think his one in Feb's been cancelled as well.
What's that? Sorry.
I think Billy Underwood's fight in Feb been cancelled.
Yeah, a bit of a thingy with Bill. He's had a little bit of a niggle, so but we've actually set him up a great fight in April. I just want him to get over that. I don't want anything to. We had the fight in April set up for him. I would have preferred. I mean, February is going to be a run out for him, and I would have preferred him to have the run out. He's had a little bit of a niggle, but I don't want to jeopardise this fight for Bill in April. So we're going to go straight into that in April. Let him get over that, and yeah, I'm looking forward to Bill. He's got to be in big fights now. You know, and I think he'll thrive under it. He's done his learning. He's 4-0. I know he ain't been in the ring for a long time, but listen, you do your own work, you do your groundwork in the gym. So we'll make sure that he's prepared for it, and it's a fight that everyone's going to love. So I'm really pleased. Like I said, it was going to be routine run out in February where we was going to do that, but we're going to go straight into it with April now.
Yeah.
And that's just basically it, really.
What happened? He was meant to fight Josh Adderwell, and then it fell through. What happened?
It was a bit of a dispute with the border control. They flagged an old injury up that they wanted a report on. It was just bit of a palaver, and first of all, it was due to him. The first fight was due to medicals again, and we had to get something signed off at the last minute, and it didn't get done in time anyway. So that was on Bill, but we rescheduled it. Everything was put in, and then they flagged something up, and they've done it to a couple of fighters as well recently, including Josh, which they did that to him before. They've done
it again for Chavez as well.
I think, listen, the border control is just, you've got to be cautious, but then sometimes it's like, really, do you know what I mean? So it's listen, they're great, the safety aspect of the boxing. You're not going to get any better in the world of the boxing border control, but then there's being safe, and there's just being like, oh, okay, come on, like it's a bit of a thing. But like I say, listen, if that's their procedure, that's their procedure, and you've got to go along with it. You might not agree with it, but that's what we got to do. And listen, we passed those hurdles, but I just feel sorry for the fighters when it does happen to them. But yeah, absolutely.
Of course, I've seen Hannah Bagley's fight news. Big prospect as well. Do you think she can get through this hurdle?
Oh, absolutely. She's got unreal support up there in Manchester. I really like her. She's a consummate professional, and every time she's had the worst luck with it, as everyone has, and the way she's dealt with it, like with fights falling through, with dates falling through, because it's just been the way of the world. We've had fights cancelled, we've had fights go ahead, shows go ahead. It's just the luck of the draw sometimes. And Hannah, it's happened to her 3 times last year. We got her out on a dinner show. Really was lucky to get her a pro debut, which I was really happy about, and she put on a fantastic performance against Borislava. And I really, really impressive. And then she had a fight fall through in December after that. But she just dusts her gloves off and she goes, I go to her, look. And it's the worst thing for a boxing manager is the phone call when you've got to let them down, when you've got to say the fight's done, the fight's off. And it's honestly, it never gets, I've done it so many times over the last few months, it never gets any easier. It's just like, it's just so gutted for them, you know, what they put in. I know how hard she works. She's dedicated her life. She's moved her life upside down for boxing. But every time that bad news comes, she goes, right, Alfie, no problem. Come on, let's go. What are we going to do next? Come on, no moping about. That's it. Boom, straight back on the horse. And that's what we do. You know, some fighters deal with it differently, you know, and they're gutted and they just want to like thingy, which I don't blame them really, because, you know, you put all that time training, there's no end product to it. So you would be gutted, but you know, she's a consummate professional, and she's not got a stellar amateur background, but with Anthony Farnell training her, I think she's gonna make big strides. She's already improving as it is, and I'm really, really pleased with the way it's going. And I think she's going to put an excellent display on in Manchester. Oh, 2 seconds, mate. 1 minute. Here we go. Sorry about that. Someone's just trying to ring.
You're right.
You're right. Yeah.
And then you've got Chavez Campbell as well, who's fighting Liam Wells as well. That's a good fight in Brentwood again. That's a good bill, that, isn't it? Right.
It's a good bill, yeah. They've done well there, the promoters. I'm very pleased that we've got our guys Chavez on with Liam Wells. We're supposed to fight Adewale, but pulled out. So we're not going to revisit Adewale again. We're just going to crack on. And we got a better fight. We've got a bigger and better fight with Liam Wells, bigger challenge. And I'm looking forward to it. I think Chavez can kick on from there. He just wants big fights, you know. I'm glad we're getting these little fights done now, where it don't have to be for a title. It doesn't have to, just get in there. You want to fight, you know. And I've got so many of my fighters, you know, I've dealt with fighters all the time when I go, right, you're going to fight this guy. And it's like, yeah, not so, do you know what? Not so much the fighters, because the fighters will fight anyone, you know, but you come with fucking, like, excuse my language, with trainers that drive you mad. No, can we just have a warm-up? Can we have a warm-up? I'll tell you what we'll do. You know, listen, like we say with trainers, I don't go in to a gym and teach and go to a trainer. No, don't do it like this. I'll do it like this. Because I ain't got the first clue about training fighters, you know? I'm not a boxing trainer. But a lot of trainers think they're really, really good at boxing managing. So, and they think that they know. So, and, you know, you have to deal with that. And, but I just like the attitude of, you know, probably all of my fighters now, because they're not hiding away from any challenges. They're taking challenges on. And that's what I want to see. And like, listen, I'll tell you something, you're losing a 50-50. I will vote for, you know, I have more respect for you. I'll work even harder for you to get you back up to where you are than if you was, you know, just go on your journey and end up losing a title fight down the line when you're not prepared for it. You know, so I'll have more respect for that person. So I'm really looking forward to it. We're in great positions with some of our fighters. So
Tommy Jacobs is in that as well, isn't he?
Tommy Jacobs. Yeah, Tommy Jacobs with Mo, you know, he's not far off. I mean, he's 2-0 as a pro, but, you know, he's got a wealth of boxing experience, and I think he could be fast-tracked, and there's some good fights for him, you know, and getting that mix with Chavez Campbell, you know, Billy Underwood, all them guys. It's great. It's great, you know, to have little round robin fights. And, you know, you're going to learn off each other. It doesn't matter if you win or lose, you know. We've got to get rid of this Mayweather-esque thing of stigma about boxing where people are just scared to lose their O's. It's ridiculous. Just get in there and fight, you know. Lewis Isaacs, prime example. 1 loss on his record. He's fucking profile and credibility is at an all-time high. And, you know, people want to come out and see him. Exactly. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. And I've always had that attitude as well. You know, go in there, if you're good, we know who's good. But if you're good enough, we know we know we can get you back in.
Yeah. And my last question is, if I want like a job working with boxers and like interviewing them, is it hard to get into that?
I don't know much about the media side or anything, Sam, like that. But listen, all you got to do, listen, if you want to do it, just crack on and do it. Just make the contacts. How you doing, and you get there. You'll get there. You just got to make the right contacts. I'll tell you something though, Sam. Welcome at any of our shows. You can interview anyone you want anyway. So honestly, I'll put you on the media pass. Come there, you make your connections and all that. That's where you start off. You go to press conferences and all that sort of guy, and you go from there. So listen, any time you want to come to a WBM show, you're more than welcome. We'll put you on the media list. You start interviewing some fighters and go from there, my friend.
Thank you, mate. I really appreciate that, and thank you for your time, mate.
No, thank you. Thank you very much for that, Sam. And I mean it anyway. We'll stay in contact, and your name will be on the list for the 22nd, for the 1st and 22nd. So you're more than welcome to come.
Thank you, mate. I really appreciate that.
Not a problem, Sam. And I look forward to seeing you there.
Yeah.
Bye, mate.
And you, mate. Bye, mate.
Bye.
Thank you.